Yeah, part two, more about how patriarchy inhibited or actually stopped women's ability to act on their individual impulses and be creative. It's like if you want to be like kind of weird and like transgressive and creative, but you have to be taking care of kids all the time. Like you have like a whole bunch of children to take care of. Like nobody wants somebody that's like, I'm going to get weird with the baby. Like, like you can be playful with a baby, but nobody wants weird. Like, you have to be steady, you have to be practical, you have to be cautious. So all these things, like women were forced, even if their mind was like very creative, they had to like squelch their creativity in order to be practical, conscientious 24/7. And yeah, so it got like women, all this suppressed creativity, intellectual ability, kind of this questing for freedom that women just had to squelch because they had to do work all the time. Like nobody wants somebody like weird weird in the kitchen. Like seriously. Like somebody like, whoa, I'm feeling really weird today and I'm gonna like pick all these weird mushrooms and wildfires, wildflowers and weeds, and I'm gonna make this really weird stew. This really weird soup for you. Nobody's going to eat that soup. Like nobody's going to eat it. So it's like women have had to struggle with having to be like divided in having to, which is why women can multitask so well. Like we have to get all the daily work done of caretaking children, keeping things clean, neat, cooking dinner, and not being weird about it because there's really no room to be weird in those things. So women have been held to this task, but they also, if a woman has ambitions in other sorts of ways, she has to do it on top of that, whether it's a job, a career, artistic pursuits, writing. And of course, we think of Sylvia Plath. Well, I do. And, had two young children, moved to England away from her mother, away from her family, to be with hubby Ted Hughes because he couldn't handle America. So she went to England and he abandoned her. He abandoned her in England, ran off with another woman who also killed herself. Hello. And she had two young babies. Nobody to help her because she was, away from her country. The coldest winter. England was like, wasn't, she was from a well-to-do area in America, but England, post World War II, it still hadn't recovered. She was in a thatched, you can read this about her, a thatched roof house, leaking, heat going out, screaming babies, nobody to help her, and hubby abandoned her for another woman who he impregnated too. But despite her rage, and she was getting ready to kill herself, she killed herself in February that year. And I think she had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So she was getting ready to kill herself. But before she did that, with her rage, this primal rage of the woman who is a genius, who is creative, but she has to do all the daily work to keep her babies alive. The man's gone. He's long gone. And this is our history. Where does the man go? He goes wherever he wants. He goes wherever he wants to go. And the woman is stuck with the daily task. So Sylvia, before she stuck her head in the oven, she wrote, the poems of Ariel, like 4 a.m. before her babies woke up, in this absolute rage of all that women must do and all that men get away with. And it's a primal scream. Her poems, and which is why she has stood the test of time to write that primal scream in blood, sweat, and tears, and just a lot of pain, of abandonment and rage, of where are the men? Why is it the woman doing this? Because they can walk, because they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about the screaming kids. They don't care. They want to to do something else that day. So they left because they could.